Okay, so my girlfriend and I the other night we watched, what was it? It's so bad. The Lone Ranger. You see, my brain nearly auto-erased it. Now, the remake of The Lone Ranger, Johnny Depp, I think there's no doubt about it, absolutely outstandingly wonderful actor, very charismatic, brilliant actor. He's got star quality, but he still has that ability. He has real acting chops as well. One of my favourite films is Ed Wood, and I just love what he did in that. It's a fantastic movie, all about passion for filmmaking, all about somebody whose naivety and passion and love for what he does and for his friends shines through despite the lack of talent and the blind spots he has for himself and for his craft. But in this particular movie, I was absolutely gobsmacked by just how ill-conceived it was. I mean, of course, it looks like the $200 million picture that it is. Whatever the actual budget was, I don't know, but it's got to be up in that bracket. It's Gore Verbinski, who had teamed up to make the first Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp, which I think is an absolutely outstanding film. I just think it's a great family adventure. It hits all the notes. It's got the high production value. Absolutely terrific movie. Plenty of swash, lots of buckle, heaving bosoms, lots of action scenes, absolutely terrific production value, and characters that you really cared about. And really gung-ho, great movie. The second one, not so much. The third one, what was that about? I mean, I couldn't make head nor tail of that. And thereafter, I have no interest in the thing whatsoever. But in The Lone Ranger, I was just really struck because here's a very, very talented bunch of people. And on the one hand, they're making a family film. It's Certificate 12 in UK. And really, the opening sequence of it is, it's like a Jackie Chan film. It's full of fun and verve and action and slapstick comedy. Then there's a little sequence which is kind of reminiscent of Night at the Museum, which again is another very, very likeable, brilliantly accomplished family movie. And all of a sudden, it just, without any warning, just kind of careens into a Sam Peckinpah Wild Bunch gore fest, which is, I found, as a grown man, quite harrowing to watch some of those sequences. And if I had a child, there's no way on earth I would expose them to that particular series of sequences. Just thinking, what is the kind of mismatch that's going on in their heads? I mean, what kind of people make a movie that swings like that tonally? I fell asleep towards the end of the movie. It was Valentine's, and we had allowed ourselves a glass of bubbly or two. We haven't been drinking for a long time, and I think that and the tummy bug just kind of kicked in, and I conked out. But really, this was after what felt like 4 hours of watching the film. So, are there any movies that have struck you that way, that you kind of think, hey, this would be great either as a family movie or a horror movie, but not both? Or movies that seem to switch genre or tone so abruptly that they leave you kind of a little bit gobsmacked and nonplussed. I can think of another example was Pineapple Express, which had this kind of stoner comedy thing, and it did it perfectly, it acquitted itself perfectly well in that regard. It was quite funny. But then again, halfway through, just sort of taxi driver scenes of violence that just left me scratching my head and thinking, you know what, I really don't want that hoisted upon me if I'm in the middle of a different movie, as it were. Imagine if you go out for a curry and then, 3/4 of the way through your dinner, the curry's whisked away and a big sizzling steak sat down in front of you, and you're kind of going, this isn't what I ordered. Let me know your thoughts. $50 Film School, we'd be really glad to hear from you. Please subscribe, drop in on the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/my $50 Film School. And as I say, $50 Film School itself is launching soon. So thanks for listening. God bless. Send in your work, send us your ideas, let us know what you're up to, and we can comment on posting that. Cheers guys, bye.